So, you know, the U.S. immigration system, as I said, is a lot of moving parts, and a lot of times we have to really dive in deep and review what's going on in people's particular cases. We get a lot of questions, emails, and on the show even, and on YouTube comments about stuff, and it's really hard. Sorry, I got a fly or something, a mosquito flying around my head. But it's really hard to figure out what's going on just by, you know, to have these brief conversations. For example, one thing I've seen people, when I, you know, back in the day when I first started, I would just try to help you with the phone, trying to, like, you know, just to be quick, and I found these kind of mistakes happen if we just do it by phone. In one case, a person contacted my office and they said, well, you know, I wanted to do something, I want to get some sort of visa. I'm like, where you're at? They said, I'm in the United States. I'm like, cool, what kind of visa do you have? They said, I'm here on a tourist visa. And I asked them, well, how much more time do you have on the tourist visa? And they said, oh, I have 5 more months. I'm like, oh, okay, great. So we were talking, I told them to schedule a time. They lagged, and 2 or 3 months later, they finally did. And then once they came, I looked, and what happened is they had a visa stamp in their passport that had that 6 months, or by that point, 4 months left on it. But the visa stamp in your passport that the U.S. Embassy gives only gives you time, and the limit of time that they give, sometimes up to 10 years, gives you permission to try to enter the United States, but not to actually enter the United States. Once you reach Customs and Border Protection at the airport, at the land border, or sea border in some cases, you have to get what's called an I-94 issue. And the I-94 is your breakdown of what visa you have and how long you have permission in the United States. And typically for a tourist visa, they only give you 6 months worth of time. So when that guy came to me and I asked him how much more time you have on your visa, he misunderstood it, because that's a typical language use visa, and thought I was talking about the visa stamp. And actually what I meant was the I-94, but that miscommunication happened. But when he brought his passport in, I looked, I'm like, oh no, I don't mean the visa stamp. I went online, checked his I-94, and the guy had like a week left of time, so he had to get out as soon as possible. He could have filed for an extension, and maybe had enough time to do it. But the moral of the story I learned from there is, you know, there sometimes are misunderstandings. I may not express myself properly on the phone. That's why one thing is I like doing video consultations, and also getting people's documents, going to these websites, reading them, spending time, so I make sure the information I give is proper. I don't want to come out and give some information that can be problematic and really ruin someone's life. So I got to be very careful, and that's why this show is just general education. I try not to go too deep into something that's someone's case, because they could be, you know, mistakes. I don't want to hurt somebody. I hope you enjoyed this educational video. Also, you'll find our social media site has a lot more videos, images, and information about the U.S. immigration process. Please check those out on the various social media websites.